The challenge is getting veterans into the door, particularly for their first appointment, in some cases. And where they don't have an established relationship with a doctor and they're not in the system? Part of that is going to be technology. Part of that is management. But as Rick Shinseki himself indicated, there is a need for a change in culture within the VHA, and perhaps the VHA as a whole or the VA as a whole that makes sure that bad news gets surfaced quickly so that things can be fixed. And I know that was the attitude of Secretary Shinseki. And that was what he communicated to folks under him, but they didn't execute. And that's a problem. Christy Parsons, last question. Question, thank you, Mr. President. You said that it was the general's own judgment that made the decision for you here. If I remember correctly, Secretary Sebelius offered you her resignation after health care. Gov failed, and you declined to take it. So I wonder if there's a little bit of scapegoating taking place here. President Obama, meaning. Question, meaning, I mean, the dysfunction within the department seems to have been very deep and very widespread. President Obama, yes. Question, so is lopping off the head of it really the best step to take going forward here? What I'm asking is there a political reason for removing him other than going straight to the problem of the bureaucracy? President Obama, well, the distractions that Rick refers to in part are political. He needs to be at this stage. What I want is somebody at the VA who is not spending time outside of solving problems for the veterans. I want somebody who's spending every minute of every day figuring out have we called every single veteran that's waiting. Have they gotten a schedule? Are we fixing the system? What kind of new technology do we need? Have we made a realistic assessment of how long the wait times are right now, and how are we going to bring those wait? Times down in certain facilities where the wait times are too long, if we need more money. How much more money do we need to ask from Congress, and how am I going to make sure Congress delivers on that additional funding? That's what I want somebody at the VA focused on. Not how are they getting second guessed, and speculations about their futures, and so forth and so on. And that was what Rick agreed to, as well. With respect to Secretary Sebelius, at the time I thought it would be a distraction. To replace somebody at HHS at a time when we were trying to fix that system? And I wanted to just stay focused because I knew that if we bear down on it and we got folks enrolled that it would work. So in each instance, my primary decision is based on, how can I deliver service to the American people? And in this case, how can I deliver for our veterans? And because they are people of integrity, I think in both the cases of Secretary Sebelius but certainly in the case here of Rick Shinseki, they've got the same priority. Their view is, what is it that is going to best deliver on behalf of folks who as Rick said this morning, have been let down. Question, I remember at the time that you felt she had so much knowledge. About what had gone wrong that you couldn't afford to lose that. President Obama, right. Question, does somebody with 3 months in leadership at the department have the capacity to attack the problem quickly now? President Obama, well, we're going to need a new VA secretary. So Sloan is acting. Sloan, I think. Would be the first to acknowledge that he's going to have a learning curve that he's got to deal with. But the nature of the problem that has surfaced and has been the cause of this attention is one that we can start tackling right away. And without completely transforming the system, we can immediately make some progress. We're going to have some longer-term issues that we're going to have to take care of. So my first step is everybody who's out there waiting, get them an appointment. If we need more doctors, let's figure out how we can surge some doctors. In there to make sure that they're getting the help that they need. What I wanted to make sure of then is that even if it's still patchwork, how do we make sure that there is no slippage between somebody making a phone call and them getting an appointment scheduled? And let's have a realistic time for how soon they're going to get an appointment. Those are things that don't require rocket science. It requires execution, it requires discipline, it requires focus. Those are things that Sloan has. There are then going to be some broader issues that we're going to have to tackle. The information systems inside the VHA, those are probably going to have to be changed. That will cost some money, that will take some time, and it will have to be implemented. I think there are going to have to be some changes in the culture within the VHA. Because as I said, they're providing very good service, medical treatment to our veterans when they get in the system. But they don't have, apparently. The state-of-the-art operations that you would want to see, for example, in a major medical center or hospital. Now, keep in mind, those of us who are outside of the VA system and try to get an appointment with the doctor in the private sector. And try to get an appointment for a schedule for a hospital visit, there are probably some wait times as well. So part of what we have to do is figure out what are realistic benchmarks for the system. And my suspicion is that with not only all the veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan coming back, but also the aging of our Vietnam vets who may have more chronic illnesses. May need more visits, we may need to get more doctors, and we may need to get more nurses. And that's going to cost some money, which means that's going to have to be reflected in a Veterans Affairs budget, which I have consistently increased. Even during fiscally tight times, there's been no area where I put more. Priority than making sure that we're delivering the kind of budget that's necessary. To make sure our veterans are being served, but it may still not be enough. And we're going to, but before we start spending more money. Our first job is let's take care of some basic management issues that I think can be fixed. All right. Thank you. Barack Obama. Veterans Day Address. Delivered November 11, 2013, Arlington National Cemetery, Arlington, Virginia. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Secretary Shinseki, for your lifetime of service to our nation. And for being a tireless advocate on behalf of America's veterans, including your fellow Vietnam veterans. To Vice President Biden and Dr. Jill Biden, Secretaries Hagel and Perez, Admiral Winfeld. Major General Buchanan, most of all, to our outstanding veteran service organizations. Our men and women in uniform, and to the proud veterans and family members joining us in this. Sacred place. Michelle and I are incredibly honored to be with you all here today again. To the Gold Star families, and the brothers and sisters in arms who walk the paths of these hallowed grounds and the cemeteries around the world. We join you as you remember your loved ones who wore America's uniform. And here at Arlington, and Section 60, we've ensured that you can continue to bring the small mementos of your love and affection to the final resting place of these American heroes. Today, we gather once more to honor patriots who have rendered the highest service any American can offer this nation, those who fought for our freedom and stood sentry for our security. On this hillside of solemn remembrance and in veterans' halls and in proud parades across America. We join as one people to honor a debt we can never fully repay. In the life of our nation, across every generation, there are those who stand apart. They step up, they raise their hands, they take that oath. They put on the uniform and they put their lives on the line. They do this so that the rest of us might live in a country and a world that is safer. Freer, and more just. This is the gift they've given us. This is the debt that we owe them. They fought on a green at Lexington so that we could make independent the country they imagined. They fought on the fields of Gettysburg so that we could make whole a nation torn asunder. They fought on the beaches of Europe and across Pacific Islands. And from their sacrifice we emerged the strongest and most prosperous nation in the history of the world. And this year, as we mark the 60th anniversary of the end of the fighting in Korea. We pay special tribute to all those who served in the Korean War. From the jungles of Vietnam to Desert Storm to the mountains of the Balkans, they have answered America's call. And since America was attacked on that clear September morning, millions more have assumed that mantle. Defining one of the greatest generations of military service this country has ever produced. On tour after tour after tour, in Iraq and Afghanistan, this generation, the 9/11 generation, has met every mission we have asked of them. And today we can say that because of their heroic service. The core of Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, our nation is more secure, and our homeland is safer.